Mastering the job interview, a strategic blueprint for professional excellence. In today's highly competitive job market, a job interview is a critical opportunity to distinguish oneself as an exceptional candidate. Beyond credentials, success hinges on meticulous preparation, polished delivery, and strategic engagement. This comprehensive guide outlines a robust framework for interview preparation, incorporating targeted research, response crafting, logistical precision, and adept handling of challenging questions. It includes formal greetings, self-introductions, closings, and the significance of responding effectively to the interviewer's question. Do you have any questions for us?
It also highlights key questions candidates should ask about the company and its short and long-term goals, along with exemplary responses to 22 common questions and strategies for tricky inquiries. Designed for professionals aiming to stand out, this guide transforms preparation into a competitive edge, projecting confidence, competence, and cultural alignment.
Phase 1, Strategic Research and Self-Reflection. Effective preparation begins with a dual focus: understanding the employer and reflecting on one's own profile. Conduct a thorough self-assessment to align personal strengths, achievements, and values with the job description. For example, for a data-driven marketing role, highlight a project where you boosted ROI by 30% through targeted analytics. Research the company extensively, review its website, analyze recent press releases, and study annual reports. For a firm like Salesforce, explore its focus on cloud innovation. For a nonprofit, quantify its social impact. Platforms like LinkedIn and Glassdoor reveal culture and employee sentiment, while competitor analysis, e.g., Tesla versus Rivian, demonstrates strategic awareness. Research interviewers on LinkedIn to identify shared connections or interests, fostering rapport. Allocate 10 to 15 hours over a week to build a nuanced understanding that informs tailored responses.
Phase 2, crafting tailored responses and handling common questions. Responses must blend authenticity with precision, particularly for behavioral interviews using the STAR method: situation, task, action, result. Prepare 5 to 7 versatile stories showcasing skills like leadership or adaptability. Below are 22 commonly asked questions categorized by type, with professional, standout answers that avoid generic phrasing. Each response is concise, impactful, and aligned with employer priorities. Behavioral questions. Tell me about a time you overcame a challenge. Answer: at XYZ Corp, we faced declining client retention. Situation: my task was to reverse this trend. Task: I conducted a root cause analysis, implemented a feedback system, and trained the team on proactive engagement action. Retention improved by 20% in 6 months. Result: tip: quantify outcomes and emphasize initiative. Describe a situation where you worked in a team. Answer: in a cross-functional project at ABC Inc., I collaborated with engineers and designers to launch an app. Situation: my role was to coordinate timelines and ensure alignment. Task: I facilitated daily stand-ups and resolved conflicts through active listening. Action: the app launched on time, achieving 10,000 downloads in the first month. Result: tip: highlight collaboration and measurable success. How do you handle conflict with a colleague? Answer: when a colleague disagreed on project priorities at DEF Limited, I initiated a private discussion to understand their perspective. Situation/task: I proposed a data-driven compromise, aligning our goals with company objectives. Action: this resolved the tension and improved project efficiency by 15%. Result: tip: show diplomacy in problem solving. Tell me about a time you failed. Answer: early in my career, I underestimated a project's scope, missing a deadline. Situation: my responsibility was to deliver on time. Task: I conducted a postmortem, implemented better scoping tools, and communicated proactively. Action: subsequent projects met deadlines, earning me a promotion for reliability. Result: tip: frame failure as a learning opportunity. Describe a time you showed leadership. Answer: at GHI Company, a critical product launch was delayed due to resource gaps. Situation: as project lead, I reallocated tasks and mentored junior team members. Task or action: we delivered the product ahead of schedule, increasing revenue by 12%. Result: tip: demonstrate initiative beyond your role. How do you prioritize tasks under pressure? Answer: during a tight deadline at JKL Inc., I managed multiple client deliverables. Situation: my goal was timely completion. Task: I used a priority matrix to focus on high-impact tasks and delegated effectively. Action: all deliverables were met. earning client praise. Result. Tip: highlight organizational tools and calm decision-making. Tell me about a time you went above and beyond. Answer: at MNO Corp, a client needed urgent post-campaign analytics situation. My role was to provide standard reports, but I saw an opportunity task. I developed a custom dashboard overnight with predictive metrics. Action. The client extended their contract by 25%. Result. Tip: show proactive value addition.
Situational questions. How would you handle a difficult client? Answer: I'd listen actively, validate their perspective, and propose data-driven solutions. At QR Limited, I calmed an upset client with a revised strategy that boosted their campaign ROI by 18%. Emphasize empathy and problem solving. What would you do if you disagreed with your manager? Answer: I'd respectfully request a discussion to share my perspective, backed by evidence. At STU Inc., I suggested an alternative marketing channel with ROI data, which my manager adopted, improving results by 10%. Tip: show tactful assertiveness. How would you approach a project with tight deadlines? Answer: I'd break the project into milestones, prioritize high-impact tasks, and collaborate early with stakeholders. At VWX Company, this approach delivered a complex project 2 days early, exceeding client expectations. Tip: highlight structured planning. Technical, role-specific questions. What's your experience with specific tool technology? Answer: I've used Python for data analysis at YZA Corporation, building predictive models that reduce churn by 15%. I'm proficient in Pandas and scikit-learn and stay updated through online courses. Tip: tie skills to outcomes and show continuous learning. Walk me through your process for role-relevant tasks. Answer: for software development, I follow an agile process: requirements analysis, prototyping, iterative coding, and testing. At BCD Inc., this cut time to market by 20%. Tip: detail a clear, industry-standard process. How do you stay updated in your field? Answer: I attend webinars, read journals like Harvard Business Review, and contribute to GitHub projects. I recently completed a cloud architecture certification, enhancing my efficiency at EFG Limited. Tip: showcase proactive learning.
Motivational questions. Why do you want to work here? Answer: your commitment to sustainable innovation aligns with my experience in eco-friendly supply chains at HIJ Corporation. I'm eager to contribute to your net zero goals. Tip: tie personal values to the company's mission. Where do you see yourself in 5 years? Answer: I aim to lead in data science, driving strategic initiatives. I leverage your mentorship programs to deepen my expertise and contribute to transformative projects. Tip: align ambitions with company opportunities. What motivates you professionally? Answer: I'm driven by solving complex problems with impact. At NOP Limited, redesigning a logistics system to save 10% in costs was exhilarating, and I seek similar challenges here. Tip: connect motivation to tangible results.
Self-assessment questions. What are your strengths? Answer: my analytical mindset and collaborative skills stand out. At QRS Company, I led workflow optimization, cutting costs by 15% through data-driven decisions. Tip: link strengths to measurable achievements. What is your greatest weakness? Answer: early on, I focused too heavily on details, slowing decisions. I adopted prioritization frameworks, improving efficiency by 20% at TUV Inc. Tip: show growth and resolution. How do you handle stress? Answer: I thrive under pressure by breaking tasks into actionable steps. At WXY Limited, I use time blocking during a product launch to meet deadlines, earning team recognition. Tip: highlight practical stress management techniques.
General questions. Tell me about yourself. Answer: I'm a data scientist with 5 years at Zab Corporation, where I led analytics projects that boosted revenue by 25%. My expertise in machine learning aligns with your vision for AI-driven growth. Tip: be concise, professional, and role-relevant, 1 to 2 minutes. Why should we hire you? Answer: my proven ability to deliver results, like increasing efficiency by 30% at CDE Inc., in alignment with your customer-centric innovation, make me ideal to drive impact. Tip: emphasize unique value and cultural fit. Do you have any questions for us? Answer: below, I share specific questions reflecting strategic interest and alignment with the company's goals. Tip: see section on candidate questions.
Handling tricky questions. Tricky questions test composure and strategic thinking. Examples: what's your salary expectation? Strategy: defer politely, focusing on value. Example: I'm focused on a role where I can maximize impact, like at FGH Limited, increasing sales by 20%. I'd welcome a competitive offer aligned with industry standards. Tip: research benchmarks, e.g., salary.com, but avoid committing early. Why did you leave your last job? If sensitive, strategy: stay positive, focusing on growth. Example: my role at IJK Inc. provided valuable project management experience, but I sought greater opportunities to apply my analytical skills, aligning with your data-driven mission. Tip: avoid negativity, pivot to future goals. What would you do with an impossible deadline? Strategy: demonstrate problem solving and communication. Example: I'd assess the scope, prioritize critical tasks, and collaborate with my manager to adjust resources, as I did at LMN Company, delivering 80% of a rushed project on time. Tell me about a time you didn't get along with someone. Strategy: highlight resolution without blame. Example: at OPQ Corp, a teammate and I disagreed on a campaign. I initiated a data-driven discussion, aligning strategies, which improved performance by 15%. Tip: focus on collaboration and results.
Practice through mock interviews with mentors or platforms like Pramp. Record sessions to refine delivery. Aim for 60 to 90-second responses with natural tone and eye contact. Phase 3. The importance of asking questions. When the interviewer asks, "Do you have any questions for us?" this is a pivotal opportunity to demonstrate genuine interest, strategic curiosity, and alignment with the company. Asking well-thought-out questions not only shows preparation, but also allows you to assess if the role and culture suit you. Inquiring about the company's short and long-term goals signals a focus on contributing to organizational success, not just securing a job. These questions build rapport, turning the interview into a two-way conversation. Why asking questions is important demonstrates engagement. Specific questions reflect research and genuine interest in the company's mission and challenges. Assesses cultural fit. Questions about team dynamics or values reveal if the environment aligns with your priorities. Shows strategic vision. Inquiring about short and long-term goals demonstrates you're thinking about your role's impact on the company's future. Differentiates the candidate. While others may stay silent, insightful questions position you as proactive and thoughtful.
Recommended questions for the candidate. What are the team's key priorities in the next 6 months, and how does this role contribute to them? Why ask? Shows interest in short-term goals and your immediate impact. How does the company measure long-term success, and what strategic initiatives are driving that growth? Why ask reflects strategic thinking and alignment with the company's vision. What opportunities exist for professional development within the team or organization? Why ask demonstrates ambition and commitment to mutual growth. How does the company foster collaboration and innovation among teams? Why ask reveals culture and team dynamics, critical for assessing fit. What challenges is the team currently facing, and how could this role help address them? Why ask shows readiness to solve problems and understand immediate needs. How is industry-specific technology integrated into the company's operations? Why ask reflects sector knowledge and technical curiosity. What sets your company apart from competitors in terms of culture or strategy? Why ask demonstrates competitive research and enthusiasm for the organization. Prepare 3 to 5 questions, prioritizing those reflecting research and role alignment. For a tech company, ask about AI adoption. For a nonprofit, inquire about social impact metrics. Avoid salary or benefits questions at this stage. Focus on mission, team, and impact.
Phase 4. Logistical precision and professional presentation. Confirm interview details 48 hours prior. Time, format, Zoom, or in-person, and contact information. For virtual interviews, ensure a stable connection, clear audio, video, and a professional backdrop, neutral wall, good lighting. Test technology twice and have backups. Charge laptop, printed resumes. Dress. According to company culture, business formal for finance, tailored suit, smart casual for startups, blazer and chinos. Grooming is subtle. Neat hair, minimal accessories. Arrive 10 to 15 minutes early to observe office dynamics or center yourself with deep breathing. Prepare a toolkit, 5 resume copies, notepad, pen, portfolio, and prepared questions. These signal readiness and engagement.
Phase 5, mastering formal greetings, introductions, and closings. Avoid casual phrases like "nice to meet you" or "goodbye" to project professionalism. Greeting example: Thank you for having me. Interviewer's name. I'm eager to discuss how my expertise aligns with company name's goals. Delivery, firm handshake, in person, or confident nod, virtual, steady eye contact, and warm smile. Self-introduction. Example. I'm a project manager with 8 years at RST Inc., where I led initiatives that cut costs by 22% through process optimization. My passion for operational excellence and alignment with your innovative mission brought me here. Delivery, 1 to 2 minutes, confident tone, highlighting role-relevant achievements. Closing, example. I deeply appreciate the opportunity to discuss my qualifications and their alignment with company name's vision. I'm excited to contribute to your team's success and look forward to next steps. Delivery, reiterate interest, maintain eye contact, and exit gracefully.
Phase 6. Psychological preparation and navigating tricky questions. Visualize success. Rehearse entering confidently, answering with poise, and exiting gracefully. Combat anxiety with power posing. Stand tall for 2 minutes per Amy Cuddy's research, or progressive muscle relaxation. Practice active listening. Nod. Paraphrase questions to build rapport. Use open posture, minimal fidgeting, and steady eye contact. For tricky questions, pause briefly to think aloud. If stumped, say, "That's an insightful question. Let me reflect," and pivot to a strength. Use inclusive language to reflect diverse workplaces. Request accommodations proactively if needed.
Phase 7. Post-interview strategy. Send a personalized thank you email within 24 hours. Example. Dear interviewer's name, thank you for the enriching discussion about company names, AI initiatives. Our conversation about specific topic reinforced my enthusiasm for contributing my expertise. I look forward to potential collaboration. Tip. Reference a specific discussion point to personalize. Reflect, note strengths, areas for improvement, and interviewer reactions. Follow up after 1 to 2 weeks if no response.
Conclusion. Mastering a job interview demands strategic preparation, deep research, polished responses, impeccable logistics, and insightful questions for the interviewer. By addressing common and tricky questions, delivering formal greetings and closings, and demonstrating interest in the company's goals, candidates position themselves as proactive and culturally aligned. In a talent-saturated market, preparation distinguishes you, showcasing a professional ready to drive impact. Embrace this process rigorously to secure the role and build sustained career success.